Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Finance Agents Live. This is Finance Agents Live number, I'm starting to lose count here. Are we 15? This is show 15, right, Darren? I'm looking for maybe, right? I think this is show 15. Thanks for being with us for all this. Today is a day that I think is going to be a lot of fun, maybe a little more lightweight than normal. Today is going to be live role play with me and David Krantz, where we're going to be live role-playing, making visits to the bank. I see some people coming on. Henry, hello. Thanks for saying hello. If you're on the show, if you're watching right now, then take a second, go type your name into the box. I want to know who's on so I can talk to you directly. But a big thank you, David. Thank you for coming on the show again. We appreciate it.
I love being here, and we're going to talk to everybody. We're going to motivate some people to get out and follow my program, because it's been successful the past couple of weeks, and I want to make sure that everybody's getting off their butts and making things happen. So.
That's right. Get out and do it. And by the way, note to our sponsor, done is better than perfect. If you've already been watching some of the stuff we're doing, we're thinking, this is cool, let me plan on how to make it perfect before I start going out of the banks. Forget that. Done is better than perfect. Start going. You're going to make a lot more money than sitting around thinking about what it would be like if you went. Hello, Tori. Hello, Collis. Hello, Jeff, Caroline, Peter. Awesome. We got a lot of people coming on today. Glad to have you all here. All right, so if you are unfamiliar with the Bankers Marketing Group, which is a project that we're running within Finance Agents for all of our different member offices and everybody who's interested, feel free to go back and watch the original episode that started it all. It's the episode about a month ago now. I interviewed David, and he gave us a how-to. How he raised over $500 million in private real estate loans. When I say how he raised it, not how the funding went, but how did you find the deals, right? In our business, there's always two sides of the market. Finding people that qualify and want the money, and the other side of it is actually getting them the money. So we've got the getting them the money side down. And David especially has been doing this for
31 years.
Long enough. That's 31 years. It's a long time.
I just look really young.
Right. He started when he was 5.
Right, that's it.
And he is personally, him and his organizations have helped raise over $500 million just in the real estate funding. And that's what we talked about on the show. Now, after that show, we did a follow-up where some of the people that we're associated with actually started using the process and going out and doing it. Don Kelly is the first person who literally the next day went out and did it. So we did an interview with him a couple weeks ago. I call that our special black episode because tech issues happen and it's black. But you can listen to the audio. All right. It's there, but you won't see anything, but you will hear Don Kelly give a first-person experience recount of what happened when he was going out to the banks with nothing more than his smile and the information that we gave on our previous training. So some of the things we've done since then is we put together some bank flyers for people that want it. You can order business cards from us because those are typically the two things that you're going to carry with you when you go out to the banks. And we have those available. If you're interested in doing this with us, email in to info@financeagents.com. Put the information you want on the bank flyers and we can provide those to you. We also created a special group in Facebook dedicated solely to this process. So it's facebook.com/groups/bankers marketing. Go there. You have to request to join. And when you do that, I will add you and we can get started and you can go in and see firsthand accounts of other people that are doing this process. But in case I wasn't perfectly clear before, what we're talking about is a way to go to banks and ask for business. And so we've already talked about it a lot, but we want to show you exactly what it's like. So today we're going to be doing live role play, LARP, right? Isn't it live action role play?
Right.
Live action role play without the funny costumes.
You're wearing a funny costume.
I am. Today I'm dressed like a banker. All right. So part of the process is this is my banking outfit, and it's been so long since I've worn it that I could hardly get it on. I'm not going to lie, but I did. I squeezed myself into my banker's outfit for you. David is going to be David, all right, although he's going to try to pretend like he doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe it's his first time walking into a bank. And we're going to go through a series of scenarios. Now, you've heard of a baker's dozen, which is 13. So today we're going to give you a banker's dozen, which is 13 different scenarios. We're going to go through one at a time. And he's going to be David, I'm going to be the banker, and you're going to watch. Feel free to ask questions, throw in additional scenarios. We're here for you. We're here for one purpose, to show you exactly what it's like. So as soon as you're done, you can get the heck out of the house or the office that you're in and go straight to the bank and start making money. All right. So without any further ado, let's get this thing started. I've never done live role play like this before, so we'll see what happens. All right. So, all right. I'm Mr. Banker. I'm sitting in my bank with nothing to do, or maybe not nothing to do. But here, let me set the scene. David walks into the bank. He asks, "What do you ask for?"
I either ask for the manager of the bank or the loan officer of the bank.
Okay. So he asks, "Who do I talk to about commercial mortgages?" Which is what we've been saying to say. He goes in and says, "Who do I talk to about commercial mortgages?" And whoever he's talking to says, "Go sit over there, and somebody will be with you in a bit." And then as he's sitting there waiting, he notices the bank is super busy. Everybody's really busy, and they leave him waiting for a long time. And so what do you do?
My attitude is, who cares? You sit, you wait, you talk to the banker. They're a 9-to-5 attitude. They're not sitting there rushing to get anything else done. You're just giving them a break throughout their day. So if you have to sit there and wait 30 minutes to talk to them, wait 30 minutes and talk to them. Where else are you going? Your job is to go talk to these bankers, get them excited, and get the referral source and get the referrals from the bankers. So it's no big deal to go sit in the couch over there for 30 minutes when they have you waiting. It just shows your dedication to them a little bit longer. And really, that's your role, that's your job, to go out there and pick up the referral business from the bankers. So I personally have no problem sitting there waiting.
Okay. All right. So this came up because somebody asked about this. They said, "Hey, if it's super busy, am I taking up their time? Am I wasting their time? Are they going to be annoyed when they get to me, when they find out that I'm not actually looking for a commercial mortgage?"
No.
And your response is no. So if they're super busy, why would they want to talk to me?
Your attitude needs to change to the fact that you're actually helping this bank save their clients, save egg on their face, because as I said before, and you need to listen, no banker wants to say no to their client.
Right.
They want to save that client. So you got to go with the attitude that, you know what, even though they're helping you by giving you the referral, you in turn are really helping them. And how you're helping them is really truly by saving their client and giving them another option for them. The banker doesn't want to say no to their client, trust me. So if you're giving them an option to say, "Hey, call Bill," or call, I saw Jeff Schwartz up there, or Brian Williams, or Paul Morrison.
Bill Hubbard.
Or Bill Hubbard. Hi, Bill. Or you take their card and you get a referral.
Bill wouldn't mind waiting. I know Bill. Bill would wait there as long as he could, and he would make something happen, because that's how Bill works. So, all right, so you don't know if maybe that banker is super busy because he's on the phone apologizing to the last 3 people that he had to turn down. That's not a joke. That is literally what could be happening at that exact moment. And maybe when you tell them that you have a solution for them, as opposed to being annoyed, they're going to be so happy that the next time those 3 people call, because those people are going to keep calling over and over and over again, he's going to have a different solution, which saves him all the heartache and helps people out. So remember, you are doing the banker a favor, and the fact that you are waiting is you doing him an even bigger favor to help him out with their problem.
And you're just basically doing your job.
Okay, great. All right, so that's scenario number 1. Moving on to scenario number 2. I'm getting some weird looks from my tech over here. I'm not sure why.
And scene.
Okay, all right. Closed curtain, open curtain. Next, we're taking the analogy further than I was expecting. All right, scenario number 2. You walk in to me, I'm the banker, and I tell you this. I'm sorry, but bank policy requires that I don't just give out your name to a customer. I got to give a list of, right? I can't be seen as favoring one lender over another.
Terrific, Mr. Banker. I appreciate that. Here's a stack of my cards. When you refer out me, along with the other 2 people you refer out to, that would be terrific. What I'll do for you, though, is when you refer them to me, I don't know if the other 2 referral sources are calling you back and giving you information of what's happening with your referral, but I can rest assure you, Mr. Banker, that when you refer somebody to me and the other 2 people that you refer them to, I'll be the first one to call them. I'll be the first one to meet them at their house. I'll do whatever I got to do to jump on it quicker than your other 2 referral sources, and I'll show you that, and I'll report back to you. And all you're doing is you're just boosting yourself
Yeah.
up above the other 2 people or 3 people options in there. And that's how I answer those questions. And you'll find that a lot. You'll find a lot of times where the banker will say to you, I need to refer it out to 2 or 3 different people. No big deal. Give them the answer I just gave them.
Okay, and by the way, then you have to actually do that, right? Say all these things and then do it, all right? I can't tell you how many people say that kind of stuff and then the next time there's a bank referral, it sits for 2 days. By being quick and responsive, you will win that banker's business.
You will.
All right. Well, good answer. And by the way, we had another one of our offices went out to a bank, and the bank said that exact thing to them. And Don Kelly responded, okay, great. Who else do you have on your list? And the banker said, well, I don't have a list. I don't actually have anybody I refer to. So that might have been a paper excuse. If a banker says something that seems silly or weird, there might actually be a different, they might be concealing the fact that they have a real concern that they don't want to say. Like they think you look funny or something, right? I don't know. You're not connecting in some way, and dig in and build that relationship in order to overcome that hurdle. So excellent. Thank you. Okay. And scene. All right. Bank. Here you go. Scenario number 3. All right. You go into this banker and you have a pre-existing relationship with the banker. Not somebody you've known for 20 years where it's normal to talk about anything, but somebody you've talked to a number of times and you don't have a real close relationship and you feel weird where you think you had one relationship and now you're going to come in and try to sell them and you're worried about some backlash from that. You don't want to seem salesy. How do you approach that scenario?
Well, I'm a salesman and all of you are salespeople. That's the /1 thing you got to remember. And I'm always selling something, okay? But what you want to do is you want to go in there. I don't understand this. You've got families to feed, kids to put through school, whatever it is, but you don't want to seem salesy. I wish I had an answer for you because we're all salesmen. We need to get out there and make our news known to all the bankers in the world. And you're not being a salesperson by going up to them. You're not acting salesy simply by just asking for a referral. I don't think the bankers are going to look at you as salesy. I really don't think so.
Okay.
And my message is we're all salespeople.
Great. All right. My comment on this is, in the end, you want to be 100% authentic with your banker, right? If you have something to offer them, own it, right? Don't be ashamed of it. You're not. Goes back to the thing we said before. You're not actually selling something. You're offering them a solution that they don't have. Most likely, they don't have a solution. Some of the bankers will. Nothing's going to apply to everybody. But probably they don't have a solution, and you can help them. We are funding people that are not getting funded anywhere else, right? We had a couple real estate loans that came through recently with credit scores of the owners under 500. All right, the banker cannot help these people. All right,
most mortgage companies in the country can't help these people.
Hardly anybody can. So we're helping people that can't get help. Be proud of that, and don't be afraid of admitting it. By the way, I'm seeing some comments come in. People are asking where the Facebook page is. It's at facebook.com/groups/bankers marketing. And if you hear that, or if you look down in the description, if you click that show more on description below, you'll see all sorts of links to different things, such as our Facebook group and some of the prior trainings we've been on. So feel free to go check those out.
And I don't think Peter's getting any sound.
Well, okay. Peter says no sound, but everybody else can hear sound, right? So if you can hear me, please confirm. Okay, so back to scenario number 4, all right? And this is one, if you join the Bankers Marketing Group, you're going to see I wrote up a little summary of how you want to address this when somebody asks this, but here's a scenario. David's talking to me, and I said, okay, if I refer somebody over to you, what kind of rates and terms should my clients expect to see?
Well, unfortunately, we're not a bank like you are, so our rates and terms may be a little bit different than what they would expect at a bank, but we're not going to be that far removed from really where you will be. Unfortunately, it's impossible for me to give you any type of rate or quote because I just don't know what the scenario looks like. I mean, I would hate to tell you that I can do a deal at 9% and find out that they haven't paid their mortgage in 4 months, and all of a sudden I got to rewrite the loan for you at 11% or 12%.
Okay.
So that's my role play to them a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm just really, quite frankly, I'm avoiding the question because you don't know the answer. I, sitting here, don't know the answer until we see everything that we need to see. My head's cut off the screen. Sorry about that.
He's too tall. Or maybe I'm too short. I don't know. Okay.
But let me, if I may, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I just want to get back to you on that. You will get that question quite a bit. And it's a question that you really want to avoid. And the way I've always avoided that question was really simple again. I would say we're not a bank, so the borrower is going to pay a little bit higher than what he would expect at a bank. But we will be commiserate and give them the fairest rate in term we can possibly give them. And
Commensurate.
Commensurate, thank you.
Not commiserate. Nobody's commiserating.
Right. Right.
By the way, David's answer is a little bit different than the answer I put in the group because David, he runs a funding program where he does one specific thing, and that's the private real estate loans. But as a finance agent, your answer can be even broader than that. When they send somebody over, it can be for any one of our programs, and that makes it, of course, impossible to answer. Are they going to qualify for working capital? Are they going to qualify for a term loan? Do they need equipment finance? Can we do a retirement rollover? Are they going to qualify for a paper mortgage? Or, there's so many different things that it's impossible for them to answer. Of course, they may come back and say, we'll give you a specific scenario, and we're going to come back to that in a little bit. All right, but that's a good answer for there. Okay, next scenario number 5. I'm sorry, David, but I already refer to somebody else. It's somebody I've worked with for a while.
That's terrific, and I'm glad. Let me ask you a question. When you refer out to them, are they able to get all your deals financed for you?
Well, no, but nobody can get all your deals done, right?
Let's do this. Have you ever considered referring out to 2 sources?
I like referring to Bob, but...
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this then. You keep referring to Bob. When Bob can't help out a customer, give us a shot, number 1. Or number 2, what I would go... That's the first thing I'd say. Then, as I'm talking to the banker, I'd ask the banker, I'd say, let me ask you a question. What is the referral fee that Bob pays the bank for referring these loans to you?
Okay.
So what's typically happening here is our banker friend over here is referring to Bob, but Bob's not paying the bank any referral fee. Where I'm going in and I'm asking more questions about this referral source. What is he paying you a referral fee? We have the ability to pay the bank a referral fee. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that'll wake up the banker a little bit more and get him more excited to talk to you, number 1. Number 2, I tell them to continue referral source. We appreciate it, but here's my cards and here's my flyer. When Bob can't help somebody out, would you please refer them to me? And would it be okay if I called Bob on some referrals that he can't help out? Okay,
great. Yeah, you got a new source for somebody you can go to. So that works. And remember, in this industry, what I said is true. Nobody can fund everybody. Nobody wants to fund everybody. We don't fund everybody. We help people that can't be helped, but there's some people that still can't be helped. So no matter who the banker is referring to, probably at least half of his people are not getting funding. All right, so there's an immediate opportunity to pick up that business. Don't be afraid to ask for it immediately. Just say, hey, tell me the last couple of people you sent over to Bob that he wasn't able to help. Maybe we can talk about the scenario and see if there's something. You might be able to talk about it right then and realize that there's an opportunity. So don't be afraid of it. Own it. Jump on it. All right. Okay, moving on. Next scenario here says, hey, I'm sorry, David. It's bank policy. I'm not allowed to refer out to anyone.
What are you doing with all the people that you can't help?
We tell them to work on their business or save up some more money and come back when they're ready.
Do you feel that the bank is losing customers when they can't help them out? You upset some people? Maybe you lose them to one of the smaller community banks?
Probably. I've definitely seen people leave after.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know how long you've been at this bank or what your position is at this bank, but here's my cards and here's a flyer on me. What I can do for you is this. When you refer somebody to me, not only can we pay the bank a referral fee, but we're going to save your customer for the bank and we're going to act, I don't want to say as an agent for your bank, but we're going to act in the bank's best interest to save that customer for you. That's your best shot when they say they can't refer out. I'll go back to somebody who says they can't refer out a couple of times, maybe 3 times. When they say they can't refer out to me the 3rd time, I really will wipe them off my list because...
You actually believe them after a few times?
After a few times, I believe them. I don't believe anybody the first time, but after about the 3rd time with that banker visiting with them, I'll believe them.
Okay, great.
But pitch them the way I just gave you that pitch.
And remember, some of the times they say they can't refer to somebody, it means that they personally just don't want to. Some of the times they say they can't refer, it's because their bank manager specifically is unhappy with the process. Some of the times the actual bank branch has a policy. Sometimes it's a corporate policy. And for some of those different scenarios, there's ways around it, right? Maybe you just need to go have a meeting with the bank manager in order to resolve something, right? And so if you ask some questions, often you can figure out what the issue is and keep going. I'm getting some... keep going, David.
Okay.
I'm going to have to step off camera for a second.
Okay, no problem. Maybe we can read a couple questions right now while you're off camera and we fix you up. Let's see. Any questions out there? Okay.
Just read anything
from
wrong.
John Lewis over there. Should we approach with a targeted product or a full portfolio? Probably your full portfolio for the few reasons that I just handle the real estate side of things. But remember, when you're talking to the bankers, you can also ask them for equipment leases. You could ask them for real estate deals and whatever else we finance over here for business loans as well too.
Yeah, we do just about everything, and it really opens it up. So I know that, again, I keep referring back to Don Kelly, our first member office who went out and started doing this. The first bank that he got some real interest in was a bank who said, you know, this could be work because we just don't finance equipment finance here. And the first referral that he got over was somebody who was approved for somewhere around $1 million loan who needed about $2 million because he needed $1 million in equipment. The bank says, we'll give him a loan for this half, but we won't give him a loan for the equipment. So there is a first. And so we're currently working that file to see if there's something we can do for it. And if we can, you just cemented a relationship and demonstrated yourself as a go-to force. That is the benefit of having all the different dedicated lending partners that we have here, is that you get whatever you need to do to get that first referral in. It's going to open the flood for all the other stuff. So whatever you got to do, bring it to us. And we have so many more options than the banks that it's very likely we can help out. And there's a lot of scenarios where it's very likely the bank can't work out. So, all right, so moving on. Scenarios number 7. How much can I get paid for my referrals?
When you hear
what
that,
are we talking about here?
When you hear that, go across the banker's table and kiss him on the cheek because you just hit yourself a grand slam home run.
Yep. Okay, don't actually kiss anybody.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff in the news recently.
When they ask,
I don't want to see you in the news, or I don't want.
When they ask you how much you can get paid for referral fees,
they're sold.
They're sold.
Okay.
Okay.
So how much can they get paid? How much can I get paid?
Well, I think we talked about it. I think we decided to pay a half a point as a referral fee to the banks.
On real estate deals, on private money loans through David's department, you can pay out a half a point to the bank. And some of the other programs, it's a little, you know, we have so many different programs that it's impossible for me to quickly and easily say exactly what it is, but we come up with a good referral structure for all the different programs. So you want to ask a little bit, what kind of business do you think we're going to be sending? And we'll go back and help you create a formal offer, if you will. Also, some of the times they're asking how much they can get paid. Some of the times they're asking how much the bank would get paid. And that's, if you get into some sort of a discussion, then we're happy to help you with this. Don't be afraid to contact us and help we put together some sort of a proposal. Now, most of the time, I don't think you're going to get this question a lot in the beginning. I think most of the time they want to find out if you can do anything, because what do they care if they can get paid if they're not going to refer to you at all? So first, you really need to demonstrate trust and credibility and that you can get stuff done. And this is a question you're probably going to get after your first funding. Say, hey, how much can I get paid on these? Right? Was that your experience?
No.
No, people just asked for money right away, or you offered money right away?
I offered money up front.
Okay.
I'd always go in and tell them that we have a referral program for the banks that refer business to us. That's it.
Okay. And what percentage of the people that you told that to were interested in it?
Most of the banks will not accept a referral fee because...
Perfect.
Right. They're not allowed to, and it just makes them happy to send you a deal.
Okay, great. Awesome. All right, so next scenario. David comes into me, starts talking. I say, look, you do these loans. We just don't get that kind of business here. We only get conforming loans. We're only getting, single-family residential, owner-occupied. They want to buy the house, move into it. They have excellent credit. That's all we get.
That's all you see.
That's it. It's amazing.
None of these people ever request anything else.
We have good borrowers.
You do? Okay.
I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh because
right.
We live in the real world.
Right.
If they're saying that, there's really something else going on, right?
Yeah, you're pushing an uphill battle with that right there. I just had that. I visited a mortgage brokerage company actually down the hall from us, and the first thing he said to me is, we don't get that type of business in here because we are only a conforming loan company.
Right.
Well, I know that's not true because their loan officer brought a deal to me that we ended up actually underwriting and closing for them. And went back to the mortgage company that has maybe 50 loan officers over there. He told me that. So I said, look, you've got all these bankers or all these loan officers out there. I assure you that if we can come up, that you will see this type of product somewhere down there.
Right.
And then what you may want to do with them is say, what if we can put a program together where we can offer your bank a referral fee and start looking for that type of business,
Right.
offering that type of business, because we can white label for a bank. If you go into a bank, a
Okay.
community bank, we'll close the loan in the bank's name and buy it from them.
All right, great. If the individual loan officer that's talking to people sure knows that they got a lot of people that come in, they don't qualify, they have to say no to. Nobody likes saying no. We have a solution. If you're talking to somebody who maybe doesn't know this, maybe they're actually a little bit too removed from the process. Maybe there's the bank manager who hasn't actually had to make his money by getting deals done in a while.
Or rolling up his
And
sleeves,
don't be afraid to ask about it. Say, well, let's say, let me go talk to a couple of your people. If I come back with an opportunity that it looks like something we could do, would you be willing to sort of change your opinion on that? Because you're probably getting other stuff. Right?
And they are.
Okay. All right, good. Moving on. Next scenario, scenario number 9. The banker starts pitching you a specific scenario that, frankly, you don't know the answer to, right? Maybe you're like David and you're real strong in real estate. I start asking, hey, I got this guy opening a brewery, and we're financing the land purchase and the construction, but he's got this $1 million brewing stuff that has to be imported from Canada. What kind of rates can he get? Can he finance that?
Well, let me do this.
There's an example.
Okay. And that's a good one. Okay.
And by the way, that's a real example, that first referral that we got from a bank. So that's exactly what happened. The bank said, what kind of rates can he get?
And what I do at that point, no kidding, is I would say, great, I'm not sure, but let me call my underwriter right now back in California and find out what we can do for you. And you pick up that phone and you call Tim, myself, or one of the other staff members in here, and we'll give you that answer right then and there. That's the first thing to do.
That's great. Instant results. Of course, any underwriter is probably going to tell you, if you make that call, well, I need to see all the information. I need to see the tax returns. I need to see layouts. Is this an existing franchise that they're buying? What's their work history? How much personal income do they have? There's so many questions that need to be answered. Then the question, your response should really be, well, let's see an app. You got an application on this guy. Let's get his permission. Give it to me. I'll review it, and I'll get back to you in a day with some real answers on what we can do. Okay, good. That's scenario number 9. Moving on to number 10. Banker starts using terminology you don't know. This happened to me the other day. Somebody who used to work with us went off and became an underwriter at a bank, and I was walking around a lake, and I saw him. I said, hey, what have you been up to? He says, well, I'm an underwriter at a bank. I'm doing mostly C&I, but sometimes we're doing, reverse whatever. He starts throwing out stuff. I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. C&I, what is that? So what do you do when a bank starts throwing out terminology that makes you feel like, by the way, don't let it make you feel like you don't have the right to talk to this banker. Just because the banker uses initials or words that you don't know what they are doesn't mean that you don't have something special to offer them. But what do you say when a bank starts throwing out weird terms?
I ask them C&I, and I'll give them a little cock of that, and then they'll tell me what it means. I said, oh, yeah, of course, I'm sorry.
Right.
And I'll blame a senior moment on it. That's the first thing.
Right.
Second thing is fake it till you make it. I know a lot of people don't really want to hear that or believe in it, but let it pass you. And then if they keep using terminology you're not aware with, ask them. It's okay. It really is.
It is okay to ask questions. By the way, when you think about it, you got two people. You got somebody who knows absolutely nothing, who has to ask questions because they don't have the ability to. And you got people who know a lot, and they will ask questions because they know a lot, so they know it's something weird that comes up. So both of those groups are fine asking questions. The problem area is these people in the middle where they feel like they know some, and they feel like they should pretend like they know a lot because that's going to help you build your business. But it actually demonstrates confidence to ask a question. Just don't try to act like you're clueless when they answer.
Right.
Try to avoid the, oh, right?
Just do one of
that's
these.
bad. You say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. All
right. Just fake it till you make it. And if they're and we're here, guys. I mean, we are here with my cell phone, with our direct lines, to answer these questions for you when you're in the field and give you the support.
Yeah, this is going to happen. Bankers are going to say things you don't know what it is. They're going to ask questions about the P&L or debt ratios or how to depreciate interest. You're not going to know what it is, whatever it is, at some point. That's okay. Just let them know. Say, I have specialist underwriters for all these programs. My job is just to get the information in, and we'll get you the right answer on what's going to work here.
Right.
All right, so moving on, next scenario. Scenario number 11. So if I refer to you, what kind of licenses do you get? Whoa, all right, we got incoming. You know what it is? It's your chest hair got in the way. All right, live. Hey, well, while we're doing this, let's talk about. By the way,
thing with live when you do things live, you never know who's going to show up or walk in on your set.
Yeah, I see some questions. People are asking, should we just go into Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. Any one of those banks, plus any other bank. Again, if you want real detailed explanation, please go back and watch some of our prior episodes where we really detail the process. And then we're going to be putting together a specific script and posting it into the Bankers Marketing Group in Facebook by tomorrow. When I say script, it's going to be some bullet points. Please don't go in there and read a script like the last person that the banker is going to want to talk to. Right? Come in and start a relationship. Don't read a script, but still we'll provide some bullet points for you to go on. Okay, so the next scenario. So David, what kind of licenses do you guys have?
Well, we have a lender's license in California that we use, and the other type of loans that we do outside the country, we're not required to be licensed because we are private lenders doing all commercial real estate.
Okay, so that is part of the answer. We have 6 different funding programs, 6 different categories of funding here, and actually growing every day, by the way. You, as the person on the street, are not soliciting anything that requires a license. We stay away from everything regulated by the CFPB, the Consumer Finance Protection Board. There's no RESPA scenarios. All the different things, we stay away from that. We act as a consultant for the borrower. That's your role. You're just generating opportunities. And then any lending division that we have internally that's actually doing lending has the appropriate licensing. And it's so different across all the different programs. Don't even worry about it. Just let them know, I don't have a license. I don't need a license. I'm just bringing deals in. All of our different lending arms have the appropriate licenses. I don't even know what they are. They have so many different ones. Believe me, we got you covered. We're not doing anything weird. That's what I would say.
That's a great answer.
All right.
That's better than mine.
Cool. Okay, moving on. Number 12. Okay, so you do this all the time. Who else are you getting referrals from? Who else do you work with?
We work with a battery of mortgage brokerage community that brings deals to us. Mm-hmm. We work with Bank A, Bank B, and Bank C that has referred to us. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say...
Bank A, the word?
Well, no,
Bank
not
A?
Bank A. Bank A can be Wells Fargo. Whatever bank that you're in, let's say you're in Chase Bank, you're going to say, listen, we get referrals, and we've been working with Wells Fargo. We get referrals from Bank of America, and I go into all these different banks looking for their referrals. That's who I work with. And I also work with mortgage brokers as well, too.
Now, if you're just starting off, this is your first time going into a bank, you're a new finance agent with us, you haven't done a funding before, you may feel real weird answering this question because you feel like, I don't work with anybody, right? Maybe you're new. So don't say something that you're not comfortable saying, right? If the answer is, hey, I just started doing this, feel free to say that, but you can feel confident that we at Finance Agents and our different lending arms, we're literally working with just about every single recognized lender in the country. We've been doing this for years. We've funded over $1 billion to entrepreneurs and investors all across the country. So you can with confidence say we work with all the big banks, and I'm going around establishing local connections so that we can really grow in this area, and that's 100% true. Then again, if you feel weird, if you feel it's in any way dishonest, then just say, hey, I'm just starting out, but the group I work with has been doing it forever. It's funded over $1 billion, and we're not your competition. We help you. We work with you. All right, and then I think that is it. We're getting into scenario number 13, the end of the banker's dozen. Okay, great. So I'm interested. I definitely have people I could refer to you. Why don't you tell me about some of the recent deals you've done?
What we'll do in this situation, I think would be best, would probably be take a look at our deals and maybe send them out on our website, on the Lentera website.
Okay.
And
yeah, if you specific to real estate, if you go to Lentera, there are some scenarios right there on the page. Lentera.com, LENDTERRA.com. Scroll down and you'll see some scenarios right there. But we'll post some scenarios into the Bankers Marketing Group that you can look at. Again, you're not expected to memorize them A to Z, just have a general idea. We'll try to give you different examples from all the different funding categories.
And you'll get a good feel for it. I mean, you'll see that we've lent from a house in Detroit to a hotel in Florida to a multi-million-dollar house up in LA to a $75,000 house.
You name it.
Yeah, so you're going to see a really broad range of loans that we've done, and we're very open to do these loans from, like I say, from a $25,000 to $3 million loans are
great.
Right in there.
And one of the things, we talked about all these different funding programs. For some people, that's too much to put in your brain, especially if you're new. Don't be afraid to just say, forget everything else and just talk about real estate, right? If you're going to talk about one thing and you don't have a background in something, talk about real estate. Our average deal is $500,000. You're going to make really good money. We've got our own lending. It's literally our own warehouse, our own lending initiative, where we're doing the lending internally so we control the process better than any of the other programs. So don't be afraid to just focus on that. Maybe you just look at the examples from Lentera and talk about those. Because the last thing you want to do is get caught up in a bunch of questions about equipment financing, retirement rollovers. Oh, how's a retirement rollover legal? How is it different from AYZ stuff you never heard of? Don't get into that. Start simple and grow. Okay, all right, well that wraps up the different scenarios. It'd be a good time to open it up for questions. I'm sorry I haven't been super good at answering them through. Darren, who has trouble talking right now because he's a little under the weather. Are there any questions in there? You mind just coughing into the mic real quick so people can... Any questions on there that have come by that, let's see, what's the email address for the flyers? I see that. info@financeagents.com, info@financeagents.com. Shoot it off, make sure that I know your name, do you want your address on the flyer, what phone number, do you want a fax number on there, your email, your URL, just write it in an email and we will order it for you. Generally it takes about a week, so please order it right away.
So
it's going to take
a
a
couple
time.
questions up on top. No, the other way.
Sorry guys, we're scrolling.
There we go.
What's the typical title of the banker? I don't want to waste my time with a teller. All right, good question.
Great
question.
All
right. Makes sense. I mean, you do not want to waste your time with a teller, so there's nothing wrong with what Monica said.
No. Well, you're going to know because typically when you walk into a bank, you're going to ask right away for the person who handles the commercial real estate division for commercial real estate loans. That's the first thing you're going to ask
or
for.
Or the bank manager.
Or the bank manager, and you're going to know you're not going to walk up to the teller window. You're going to walk right over to where the bankers are seated.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, definitely do that. Ask for the person that... So Don Kelly, who went out, he just walked up and said, hey, who do I talk to about commercial mortgages? That's exactly what he said. Hey, who do I talk to about commercial mortgages or about getting a commercial mortgage? And then they would introduce him to the person they talked to, and then he would introduce our services.
We have a lot of questions up top there, yeah. Is it true, this is from Darren...
Yeah, isn't it true that they aren't allowed to forward a customer's info without their permission due to fraud and to remain compliant?
Yeah.
Probably. And if you noticed in the example I gave, what I said is, let's get the client's permission, refer me the information, and we'll get you an answer. Some bankers will do it anyway. Whatever they want to do is up to them, but some bankers may say that. Did you have much of an issue? Did you see the bankers normally reach out to the client first?
No.
What I also see is a banker can send an email making an introduction. Hey, John, you should talk to David. David, John, here's each other's information, and then you can establish contact. What is less likely that happens, they're going to send a full package over for you to review. Hopefully they do, because that makes it easy and fast. You can call up that client and say, hey, Banker Bob sent me your stuff, and it looks like we have a solution for you. That's a great first call, assuming they don't get mad. So it's going to be up to the banker and how that banker has presented to the client and what their interactions are. All right, so somebody asked, do we do just real estate loans? Obviously, we talked about all sorts of stuff. It's up to you what you want to talk about. Do we have any materials that describe how we are a depositor retention tool? Do you understand the question?
I do not understand the question.
Okay. Right on the bank flyer that we give out to you, and I don't think I have an example. We do have a picture of it. I think Darren can pull it up if you give him a second. Right on the bank flyer states, save your clients. I mean, that's the main message. And it says, when you decline, it's a little small to read, but you'll see it when we send it out to you. But when you decline a client for financing, they go straight to your competitors for help. By referring them to a non-bank lender such as us, then you satisfy their needs while salvaging the depository relationship. When he says depositor, what he means is the bank's first and primary way to make money is by sitting on your money, giving you absolutely no return, and lending it to other people and making money off it. So they get it from you, and they pay you 0.5% interest, and they lend it out at 10. I mean, they're making money like this, man. You gotta love it. So it states right on the flyer, and really the concept is, it doesn't take a lot of explanation. It's pretty simple. If they say no, their client is going to go to Chase. And if the client gets a loan from Chase, they might switch their bank to Chase. Happens all the time. If they say no and refer them to us, then we'll get them a loan and we will not let them change their bank. Right? It's that simple. Okay, what are the questions we got on there? Darren?
Oh, Buffalo, New York. No question about refinance deal in Buffalo, New York. Up a little bit, Darren. Okay, yeah, and that's from Paul. David, I have a client with rental property portfolio in Buffalo, New York. No problem. We lend in New York. I'm doing a deal in the boroughs, and I do have a deal up in two deals in Rochester. So Buffalo's great.
It says I'm looking to refinance the package.
Yeah.
Does the package mean it's something different than just a loan?
No, it's probably I'm going to assume that it's probably a package of rental properties up there.
Okay. Now, of course, if there's a group of properties, you're going to have to do appraisals on each one typically. It
depends.
It might be a blanket lien. It might be a bunch of different, a blanket loan or a bunch of different loans. But definitely, nothing wrong with Buffalo. Okay, what do we got?
Except if you're a Bills fan.
All right. Okay. Hey, I miss it. How do you get the bank to refer you to someone? We'll definitely go watch. We have a couple whole trainings, or even at this point, you can rewind and watch everything that we just talked about, and it goes into a lot more detail. Reginald, I saw, said something on there. What did Reginald say? I think the idea is, or this is more just a comment, I think the idea is to get a banker to forward your contact information to the client. All right, so we already went over that. Who else? I have a lot of commercial bankers in my LinkedIn network. Can you suggest a short and simple intro message? What would you type on LinkedIn? I think what David would say is he'd say, hey, Tatiana, type something into LinkedIn for me.
Right. Yeah, if you have a lot of commercial bankers in your LinkedIn network, the message I would put in there is that you have a new position or you found new money for anybody for bank turndowns with no credit consideration. I would put in there that you're now working with a company that'll do loans with no credit consideration, looking for a real estate loan, looking for real estate, commercial real estate. If you do this, let me give you my number real quick, 949-346-1217. Give me a couple hours, I'll come up with something for you on your LinkedIn network that'll work well for you. Okay?
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. But if I were you, and if I had a bunch of bankers in my LinkedIn network that I wanted to market to, you know how LinkedIn works. You post something once, it's gone in the storm. It's kind of like tweeting something on Twitter. It's gone in 5 seconds, right? So you don't want to do one message. Maybe you're talking about sending a specific message to a banker, which would be very effective. But you can post, what I would do is one at a time start posting examples of the real estate deals we're funding. When people see the real estate deals we're funding, we should start putting the FICO on there. That would blow their mind.
Right.
All right. When they see that, after they've seen a few of these, they're going to start saying, hey, man, there's something different. Maybe I need to refer to Copeland, right? So that would be a good way to do some drip marketing over time. Just put it on there. But as far as a direct introduction, it can be pretty simple. I mean, off the top of my head, I would say, hey, Bob, I know we've been linked on LinkedIn for a long time. I wanted to make sure you know what I do. I help people get loans that the banks turn down. We work with a lot of banks like you in order to help them with their clients that they can't help. If you want to refer people to us, you don't have to worry about losing your depository relationship. Keep it simple. That might even be too long right there. You could just say, hey, the last 3 deals that you turned down, we might have been able to fund them. If you want to make a referral, I'd be happy to see if there's something we can do. Anything like that. Keep it natural.
And Gora, am I pronouncing your name right? Gora, I can't
Gora.
Remember. Gora Shanberry up there? Well, thank you for that.
Chowdhury.
Chowdhury? I'm sorry. I'm reading without my glasses, and I'm an old guy, remember. Anyway, a couple suggestions. First of all, I thank you for the compliment. We're glad you're part of our group. And one comment that he made on there, and he's right, is go ask for the small business bankers when you're in there.
Small business banker, or commercial mortgages, or the bank manager. Any one of those 3. And by the way, again, don't worry about it. Done is better than perfect. Just if you're not sure what it, just go.
Go.
Just go do it. You're gonna. The first few times you do it, you're gonna feel uncomfortable. You're like, what is this? I'm doing something I've never done before. Should I be here? Should I feel weird? Everybody that we've talked about that has come back and told me about it had positive things to say. They said, yeah, I went in and the first banker I talked to then set up a meeting with the bank manager, and now I'm getting referrals from now I've got the potential to get referrals from everybody in the area. You're going to get lots of yeses. Now, the next part is keep doing it so that those yeses turn into actual referrals. Most bankers will say yes, but they won't start referring immediately. They want to see you keep coming back, be consistent, demonstrate credibility, and then you're going to win that business. And the banker's not sitting there looking at 20 people a day where they're going to start referring you 5.
And you know, the truth of the matter is, there's not a lot of people going after this banker business. There really isn't, and you're going to find that
Which is crazy.
It's the great market. A lot of people aren't going after it, and this is the market to go chase.
Okay, great. All right, well, Paul, we'll reach out to you about your client with the 8 properties. We'd love to help with that scenario. If we have any more questions, Reginald, I'm glad to see you're going to post in your Facebook group. That's awesome. We'll start trying to put examples. And by the way, if you're in the Bankers Marketing Group in Facebook, this is not a one-way push platform. This isn't a place for me to tell you what to do. This is a place for every one of you to talk to everyone else. You guys are not your competition. You're probably far apart from each other. There are so many banks that you're not competing with each other. Use the group as a place to ask questions of each other. Every one of these questions over the next week or two, we'll try to post something in there. I'll post a question, you guys answer it. I want to hear your feedback because you may know something that somebody else doesn't. Use it as a place for interaction, and that's how you get the real benefit of it. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you, David, for being here. If you're new to the show, please subscribe. You're subscribed, like the show. Your support helps us provide this information for other people. If you haven't signed up as a finance agent, make sure to do so. Go to financeagents.com/agents and sign up, and then you can do bank referrals for us. Copeland says you didn't catch your phone number. We'll put it in the notes, but
Okay.
one last time.
949 area code, 346-1217.
949-346-1217. Give David a call. I expect 40 people to call him in the next 5 minutes.
Whatever it is, I'm here to help and answer questions. I'll pass my cell phone's connected to it as well, too. You get stuck in the field, I'm here for you. But here's the key. We had a lot of people show up today to the meeting, which is terrific. Oh, my name is David Krantz, Copeland. Sorry.
All the stuff, everything's in the show notes, too.
Yeah, thank you. The key here now is get off your butts like this and go do it. Thanks for having me.
Not quite like that. That's, by the way, that's the most interesting. If you're still here, get out and do it. Use this as permission to get the heck out there and do it. If you say, I can't dress like a banker, who cares? Show up in sweats. Just go. It's better to go than not go. You earn no money sitting around thinking about it, watching these shows. You earn all the money by actually going there. By the way, if you're getting money on these deals, a $500,000 deal, we're talking thousands of dollars. You just get one deal a month. You could double your income or more. So please do it. We want to work with you. We're happy for your referrals. We'll fight for your referrals. Now, I know you're putting yourself out there to go to the bank. We put ourselves out there to fund anybody that can possibly be funded. You've got our whole 31 years and over $1 billion in funding experience behind us. We're here to support you. Get out there and start talking to those banks, and let's make some money together. Let's have a nice Christmas present. I expect everybody to get a nice $10,000 commission for Christmas or Hanukkah if you're
Whatever.
David, all right?
Christmas, Hanukkah.
Cheers. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, again. Look forward to doing a lot more deals together.